You don't have to provide farmers with money.
Yeah.
You provide them with a market.
Market.
And I think that this is what a lot of international agencies have missed.
Hello, welcome to another edition of the Food Startup Africa Show, where we get to speak to budding and promising startups in Africa. And today I'm in the land of mangoes, yes, in Machakos at the center. And I'm not going to go so much deep into it, and I'm here joined by the proprietor of this amazing facility, who will be introducing himself and the company. So welcome.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Thank you.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. No, and of course, everyone is welcome here.
Yeah.
This is a small fruit processing facility that we began building 4 years ago. And this is really coming into the second season of production. We particularly chose this area because it was at the heart of mango growing area, but there are also other crops grown such as banana, guava, and so on. But really the farmers here are struggling to maintain a regular and good income, because the mango crop can be very it fluctuates a lot. From some years good yield, but prices then might be bad. Other years a poor yield, prices might be a little bit better. But overall they're faced with quite a long distance to market. They're faced with lack of technical knowledge and input, and this results in very hit and miss income streams over the years. So we decided we'd set up a small processing plant. We had aimed first of all to do aseptic pulp, and we've succeeded in establishing that line with the help of some local companies who supplied equipment, but some of the more technically involved equipment that had to be imported. In the meantime, we also were getting requests from farmers who were growing avocados in the locality. Yes. Would we do some processing for them? Yeah. And we set up a processing plant for avocado oil. Yes. And that has been very, very successful. We produce a very, very high grade avocado oil. Yes. And then other farmers were saying, well, can you process our other crops such as bananas, such as guava, such as passion? And we took a look at the best processing options, and we believe that by installing a drying unit, a large-scale drying unit, that would actually improve, for us, the use of the building, and for the farmers it would increase and improve their income, because not alone were we taking mangoes for drying, we were also taking banana, we're also taking other crops. So all in all, what we're providing is almost a year-round processing function, and from that point of view, I think farmers now are getting to rely on what we're doing. We're a reliable market. I believe we pay very well, because every day farmers are bringing their own produce. They're not relying on brokers to buy from them. They bring their produce here, and that in itself is an indicator that we're paying a good price, and we're also paying quickly. So what we've seen is that this is developing into a village processing hub. The village processing hub concept is one, it's not the first time it has been tried here or indeed in any other country, but I think for the particularly for fruit farms and fruit farmers in Kenya, it provides a very, very suitable outlet for farmers that are in remote areas, because this village processing hub can process a large quantity of their fruits. Most years the buyers and the brokers might not visit their area, so that they have surplus fruits, and rather than those fruits go to loss, they can take them to the village processing hub almost on a year-round basis. So from that perspective, We have 4 processing lines with pulping lines for making fruit pulp. We have drying lines for drying fruits. We have avocado oil, and our 4th line is in screw presses, oil screw presses that can make oil from macadamia, peanut, and other crops. Yeah. And we don't stop there. We then see what we can recover from the waste, because waste disposal in a rural area is quite expensive. We don't want to be contaminating the area with a lot of discarded waste from processing, and therefore we make charcoal from briquettes. We make charcoal briquettes from avocado seeds. We make charcoal briquettes from mango seeds, and this then goes to fuel our boilers. We're also now beginning with a black soldier fly to utilize the waste that is coming from the mango processing and the dried fruits processing in particular. So all in all, what we're offering is we're bringing the market to the farmers with the concept of the village processing hub. It is to a smaller scale than you need to build it if you're building it in a city. The farmers are saving a lot on transport costs. Yes. We're saving also a lot on transport costs because we don't have to go and source the fruits. We're providing a lot of employment in the local area, up to 50 people during the avocado oil season. And other benefits that have come to the area since the factory has come here. We were on a 2.5 kilometre access road, dirt road, and that has been upgraded now to a full heavy-duty tarmac road. The police station has developed around the facility, and they have also provided community service such as canteens and recreational halls that are very widely used by the people. In fact, the chief of police said to me a few months ago that he was very happy the factory had come to the area, because he did notice that the amount of social problems and petty crime had reduced since the factory started operating. So from all those angles, I think we've had a sizable impact, particularly in the steady employment that we're giving to local households. Yes. Where there were no employment before this, there is now steady employment that housewives can plan on an income and allocate it according to the household needs on a year-round basis. I'd also like to say that about 80% of our staff are women. I'd say 100% of them are under 35. And what I'm doing now is just really had set out to prove one thing with that, and that was that you don't have to provide farmers with money. You provide them with a market. And I think that this is what a lot of international agencies have missed. They concentrate on improving farmers' yield, they concentrate on improving the quality of produce, but they don't actually bring any markets.
Because where do they go?
Where do they go, exactly? And farmers can actually end up poorer rather than better off because of that, because farmers will be inclined to go out and take loans to invest in machinery, to invest in equipment, chemicals, fertilizers, etc. But if many farmers are doing that in the same area without, back to where we started, we did start exporting some fresh avocado and some fresh mango to the Middle East market. But as somebody once warned me, you think you'll be doing well and getting paid on a regular basis, but then one day you'll get pictures. Pictures will be of rotten fruits. And people will say they're yours, and they will refuse to pay you for them. So we decided that we would get out of the fresh export completely, get into this type of real value added. Because we have another problem with fresh export. When you put a mango or passion or something like that on an aeroplane, you're putting a huge amount of water on an aeroplane. Doesn't make sense. pay big freight charges.
Yeah.
When you reduce that to a low moisture content product and use local teams of well-trained operatives, then there is very, very good value added. There is long-term feedback into the community. So from the marketing perspective, we don't have a problem. We ensure quality control of every batch that is made, of every shipment that goes out. We keep replicas so that if somebody says, comes back and says that was not good, you know, we have to get the equipment, we have to get the standards, we have to get the machinery, we have to get the knowledge, the know-how, management skills and everything. But there are huge markets. This whole idea of, oh, how are we going to feed the world with 9 billion people by 2050? It's very, very simple. Just stop the 40% waste that is going on now.
Yes.
And by doing this value-added processing in the middle of in the remote rural areas, we're contributing to reducing wastage of food.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, people are on the wrong trail when they say we have to grow more food. Yeah. Food's grown.
Yes.
Just prepare it better, get it served, get it distributed better, and make more product out of it, and you're on a winner.
Yeah, you brought an important point which showcases that the Tropical is setting itself up to run the operation sustainably. And also previously you mentioned about converting of the avocado waste into charcoal, and also processing of those other wastes into more beneficial products. So what other ways what are the other strategies that you've set up here at the company that will ensure your operations are sustainable in terms of water utilization?
Well, on the energy point of view, I'm just looking at some of our boilers there that run off biogas, because we have you haven't seen the biodigesters, but they're out at the back, and they supply us with all our hot water. The roofs here are covered in solar panels. You mightn't have noticed those yet. Externally they are, and that's from that point of view. From water quality, we have high-grade, high-quality water purification systems installed. That's an absolute must. And in the locality, we're sourcing water. But that is something that you have to keep a very, very good eye on, that water is used well. And I think if you look around the facility you haven't seen much excess water or much wastage water. And we do a little recovery of water, but we use that for little bits of irrigation and what have you. So I think that we're looking after our part of the world quite good.
That is what is expected. Everyone to do their own. So that we can aggregate the efforts so that it can build up to have a better world. So coming now to an end, what do you think the future holds for Best Tropical?
Well, I think that the future can be very bright if people can recognise that what we're doing at this scale can be replicated in other parts of the country. I think that is a positive. We have a model for it. I'm sure perhaps other people have models, but we have a model. It's a successful model. It's commercially successful. It's doing what we set out to do at the beginning. I think you've seen from the farmers that have turned up today on bicycles, with some mango on bicycles and some trucks. I think you've spoken to those farmers. They're very, very happy to have a facility locally. As you can see, we're not dealing with brokers. So we're giving a better deal to farmers. And in return for that better deal, I believe we're getting better quality produce from the farmers, because it's not been picked over by brokers or other traders, so that we get good quality as well. So it's a win-win situation. So from the perspective of going forward, as I said to you, Mary and I are the only investors in this complex at the moment. we're not getting any younger, but I think what we set out to demonstrate has been a success, and if there are younger people out there that believe that they can also come along and take a part of this, then I think that we can open discussions with them. As I said also, we set it up so that it could be replicated in other areas. So, you know, you need investment. You need investment in this type of facility. As I said to you earlier, you know, we should have an EPZ in the middle of nowhere, like where we are, rather than it in 3 or 4 or 5 of them in the cities, where the mango and the avocado have to be transported to the city as whole, and then 50% of the mango is waste. Where do you do with it? You have to get rid of it, and that's costly. So set up the EPZs in the rural areas, give employment in the rural areas. Don't be bringing people into the city and putting more pressure on the infrastructure in the cities. So, maybe on another note, I think the biggest challenge that we had, and we still have it, is supply from KPLC, supply of electricity from KPLC. I know it's difficult for them to maintain lines. I know that we're early, you know, it's not so long ago since we were on this, was it the last mile program? And but it is a challenge maintaining an electricity supply to this facility. We have the renewables, we have the solar up there. It's but that in itself is not sufficient to run a factory of this size. So I think that's about it.
Actually, you touched about one challenge that you think about now, the energy. What other challenges have you faced, like even now in the near future, thinking about COVID? We've now settled into the new normal, and so
we're still very afraid of COVID. And thankfully, the Ministry of Health came to the factory a couple of months ago. They jabbed everybody. I think they're due another visit, so kudos to the Ministry of Health. They've done a good job there. But I think everybody is going to get the COVID. We just have to manage it. We manage it as best we can here. We have the hand wash, we have the temperature control, and we have the records of everybody, and that's why we don't allow too many visitors. But COVID in itself probably is an opportunity, because if people get a taste for better quality and more nutritious food that can be exported from here, very, very good. There's still enough food in Kenya to feed Kenyans. Kenyans are not going to go hungry.
So that's like the benefit of COVID brought.
It's only a problem of distribution, but Kenya produces enough food. But it's a problem of distribution. So if anybody is hungry tonight, it's not the fault of the countryside there.
So as a company, any challenges that you faced in your operations?
Tremendous challenges. We just totaled up the number of licenses and permits that we require and that we've got. And numbers for this small facility over 20.
Wow.
Cost? Almost $20,000. You have to have a license for practically everything that you do. It's not to say that licensing is wrong. We have to maintain standards, we have to enforce standards. But what I find a little bit difficult to believe is that we could be paying the same cost for that license as, say, some of the bigger companies. Maybe I don't want to name them, but no, there are big food companies here. We're paying the same price for a small facility that's only operating in a rural area for 2 years. $20,000 out of your budget on an annual basis is a big whack of money. And the process of licensing, I mean,
we have the Huduma stops now. Why not have a proper Hudumas for businesses such as ours? Everything is piecemeal, and every week there's some other ministry people calling up here. Have you got your license? Is it valid, or is it still in date? And yes, we do. We didn't come here to break any rules or whatever the rules of the country are. We fully abide with them, but it could be made easier, because from an administrative point of view, we also spend a lot of money and time just following those things up. So I think that's about it. There's probably lots of other things that we can.
Better strategies and policies to be put in place to encourage more setting up of businesses like this, because when you put such kind of harsh conditions, people shy away from even.
They run away. They don't shy away. They scattered immediately. In fact, they don't even visit the area.
Yeah.
But when we started out, we were driving down a very narrow and not a very accessible road. Now we have tarmac outside the door, and we have electricity running past. We didn't have that when we started out. So a lot of these are positive benefits also for the rural community. So I think the government should look at this type of thing that we've done as a model for various rural communities. In fact, Governor Matua, when he visited here on the 9th of June, said that he would recreate more of these within the county. But Governor now may be busy running for president.
That's now another issue. But but it's an amazing concept that Best Tropical has brought here in the county of Machakos, and the people of Machakos are really.
Which was a food insecure county.
Yes.
8 or 9 years ago, it was still regarded as food insecure. Now it certainly is a food exporting county.
And with Best Tropical, it has brought in some benefits, and we cannot wait to hear the next story 5 years to come.
Don't wait 5 years, Catherine. We tend to work rather more quickly than that. Maybe we'll come back in a year and we'll show you what we're doing on waste management and stuff like that. Maybe.
Amazing.
The story of that.
Yes, I will honor that invite.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.